I think because everyone says like believe in yourself, and for me it's more believe in others. Because, and especially with women, I think we should support each other more. Like the term sorority, it should be really important.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah, because it's like maybe you already believe in you, but you need to believe in others and know that they will believe in you somehow if you are doing the right things. So, and you need to empower others. And for example, in marketing, it's not me wanting you to do or say whatever, it's me creating the perfect communication for you. So I need to believe in you all the time, and I need to believe in other women and support each other, because talking about challenges, I think sometimes men put us limits, but sometimes it's we women competing between us. And so my advice is support each other, support other women, believe in other women, because then this will go back to you and they will support you too.
She is Georgina Matamoros, a woman who proves that where you come from doesn't define where you can go. Growing up in a small village in Catalonia, she dared to dream bigger. Now, she's the founder of Et Voila, a global marketing agency and international keynote speaker, and the author of Lusus of Taipei. In this episode, Georgina shares how she built her authentic personal brand, the power of believing in others, and why women supporting women is the key to lasting success. If you ever felt held back by circumstances, this conversation will shift your perspective and inspire you to take actions. So please grab a cup of coffee or tea, get comfortable, and enjoy this episode. Welcome to the Brilliantly Branded podcast. Welcome one more time to the Brilliantly Branded podcast. And do you know, one of my self-questioning is I have been wondering, what does it take to dream beyond your circumstances and create something extraordinary? So my guest today will answer that question. She is a proof that actually your background doesn't define your future. She had been growing up in a small village in Catalonia, and she actually doesn't let her environment limit her ambition. So she's have been traveling the world. She had been written her first novel. She will talking about that later. I'm going to ask about that. She had been built as well a marketing agency, and she actually have been impacted me because now she's have a role in a very interesting organization, GCI, and she is making an impact by empowering others and creating all these meaningful connections and things that are really making us feel inspired. So well, I'm not going to spoil more details about her. I'm going to give a warm welcome to Georgina. Georgina, could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you. Thank you for this introduction, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Well, as you said, I'm Georgina Matamoros. I'm from the south of Catalonia, between Barcelona and Valencia, and it's a really, really regional area in Spain. And this creates more challenges. Sometimes it's difficult to build a company, being a woman especially, but this didn't stop me to move, to travel, to live in different countries. And nowadays, and since 7 years now, I'm serving in JCI, but having international positions since last year. And it's an organization with around 200,000 young entrepreneurs, young people, young leaders from all around the globe. And this is amazing because we can connect with all of them, empower them, and create leadership opportunities for them.
Yeah, exactly. Young generations needs to have this inspiration, and not just young generations, but we all are feeling inspired by that. But I'm feeling inspired actually to seeing your roots. So now coming from this side, from Catalonia, rural area, I would like to know, how did it shape you?
Well, my area, it's really, really rural. We don't have, for example, we don't have like fast trains. It's to go to Barcelona. It's like 3 hours. There is not much, communications and all. But I think it's amazing because it also creates opportunities. Nowadays that we have internet, you have access to everything. We have a university, in our region, and this allows us to get in contact with the roots of the society. Because, for example, my family, I come from a family of farmers. From my dad and from my mom, they were fishermen. So I know how it is to be creating the food, for example, because when you are in the city, you give it everything for granted. You go to supermarket, it's okay. You don't give maybe the value that it has, the food. And it's amazing because you learn the simple things. And at the same time, nowadays with internet and all, you can get also the experience to grow, to have your business, to move, to travel and learn and grow as individual, but also having these roots. And I think this is just great.
Yeah, that's true. And I love when you said, always have the opportunity to go and travel the world. So what was this moment probably from you in all those travels that really changed your perspective?
For me, when I was 16, I already moved from my village to another bigger village in my region to study. And then I moved to Germany. I moved to Barcelona. I moved to Germany. Then I moved to Taiwan, and I created my own opportunities, and I put no limits. And traveling opens your mind, but I think it's even more important when you live as foreigner. And of course, I had some histories on planes that you think, we are going to die or something like that. Or traveling to countries that are poor, and then you see poverty and you understand how lucky we are that we are Europeans. But for me, what was incredible was when I moved first time outside my country, and I moved to Germany, and then I was a foreigner. And being an immigrant, it's hard. In my village and in my region, in my small rural region, I am Georgina Matamoros, and my surname means something.
Yeah.
But when you are a foreigner, you are no one. You need to prove all the time that you are capable, that you are enough, that you can do things. It's incredible because you lose all your contacts, you lose all your roots, and you need to remember yourself, and you need to prove all the time who you are. And this is really hard. But at the same time, it's really empowering because everything you achieve as foreigner is like, wow, I did it. I did it myself because I can do it. And it's great.
That is amazing. I just wanted to say thank you because part of the things that you just said make me feel even identify with your story, because living abroad is make us stronger. And as you well said, building our own opportunities. So how that happened, that building your own opportunities, you end up actually writing your own novel. So for me, this is, first and foremost, actually, I would like to ask you if that is possible. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay.
Yeah, well, 32. But I have to think, but yeah, 32.
Yeah, no, and I'm asking that because, I am not wanted to relate that with age, but having written a novel already at your age, for me, is stunning. So can you actually tell us a little bit about your novel and how that born and how that was created?
Yeah. After Germany, I moved to Taiwan because I wanted to change a little bit the environment, and then I chose something really different. And then in Taiwan, as I said, being foreigner in Germany was difficult, but my level of German was high enough to kind of I could hide that I was not a foreigner, and for my physical appearance, I could be German. But when I was in Taiwan, every time I put a feet on the everyone knew. Like I went out I opened the door of my home, and everyone looked at me, and children were telling moms like, "Mom, it's a foreigner! It's a foreigner!" And
Yes.
first word I learned in Chinese, "Waiguoran," because it's like she's not Asian. And then I had to create my family. And the book actually, it's based on, it's a gift to my friends. And just to prove that when you are a foreigner, you create your own family, and you create your own network of people in whom you can trust. And then also, the book is, I have it here. It's quite big. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you say the name of the book?
Yeah, it's Luces de Taipei, which means
Susan.
the light of Taipei.
Yeah.
And it's because it's the lights of Taipei, because Taipei is like typical Asian city with a lot of lights and neon lights. But at the same time, they have the traditional lanterns. And these are also the protagonists of the book, the characters. They are three girls entering their 30s. They have their own dramas, their own crisis, love crisis, everything, job crisis, and at the same time, the immigration and all the challenges of their life. And it's if each chapter is written by one of them in different dialects of Spanish, and one of them is from Spain, the other one is from Honduras, and the other one is from Chile. And it's also a way to put in value the Spanish language, because I think it's amazing. We have huge vocabulary differences that show also that we are all Latin and Hispanic Spanish speakers. We are all united somehow.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm in love with the book. It's not because it's mine, but
No, I'm in love now. I mean, this is fascinating because actually I'm feeling very identified because coming from Latin America as well and knowing the differences between the languages is make me realize, well, somebody else realized that and actually put it in a book, and how the nuances and differentiates different things that are in the language and actually are making us unique, you know. So I'm coming from Colombia, so I guess in your story, the one from Honduras is saying one stories and seeing the world in a different way. But that is beautiful, and I am going to leave a link where the people can find your book because I found that
thank you.
fascinated, and I want to congratulate you to make that
Thank
done.
you.
You know, to have it this live. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done,
Thank you.
Georgina. Well done.
Thank you.
And as well, you have been not just creating that, and part of my question as well is how do you boost your creativity? Because I'm going to say after what else you have been creating, but how you boost your creativity.
I think it's being curious all the time. Like, I think it's curiosity, because I always wanted to know more. And for example, the book, it's an example of that, because it's not me creating a book about my life. It's me writing about my friends and trying to write the book. For example, I interviewed journalists from Chile. I talk with people who really knows about history from Latin America, geopolitics. And this is being curious that makes you creative, because then you get all the information and you get inspired by others, and then you can create. If you are like in a room just with yourself, it's impossible to be creative, I think. Or at
Yeah,
least
no, I
me.
agree. Agree with you 100%. Yeah, yeah. We need to start to give food to our brain in the sense that changing the places, visiting new places, and getting others inspire us. Because if you are always in the same box, of course, your creativity is going to drop. I
Yeah.
agree with that. So then in all this creativity booster that you live normally and your curiosity, you create a marketing agency, call it Et Voila.
Yeah.
So give us more details about that and how you have
Yeah.
been ending up creating this brand.
For me, it was at the beginning when I started working, it was in Germany, because I studied my degree there, so I did my internship there, and then I got all the experience in Germany, and from there I moved to Taiwan with the master, and when I came back to Spain and I started to work, I
Tan
found
tan
that
tan tan.
yeah, I found a job super easy, because with the curriculum, oh, she studied in Germany, wow, let's hire her. But then, oh, it was like some things that are forbidden, like not getting paid for extra hours, for example. They did it. And I don't know, for me in Germany, when I was working there, it was 2013. And we already had home office and telework and flexible timetable. Like, you can come whenever you want if you don't have a meeting. And I don't know, it was we had a lot of quality in our job, like in terms of conditions. And then when I came to Spain, they looked at me like, you want to work from home? You are not going to work, girl. We need to see you here and staying at least 10 hours instead of
Mm,
8. And then
mm,
when I explained people, they were like, no, that's normal. That's normal. And you should be happy because you have work there and not working in McDonald's.
yeah.
And it was like, no, that's not the way I want to work. And I realized if it's not me creating it, no one is going to do that. So I decided to create the company. I did all the market research. I studied a master in marketing. So I knew, I already had the knowledge, I thought, to have the company. And then I did the research just to make sure if it was something crazy or not. And then I realized in my region, there was just one marketing agency at that moment. And I saw the opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that is the world of opportunities, and how you transform that in something that really works, not just having your beliefs limited by what the other said, or don't do this, or how are you going to manage that, and actually personalizing and offering a service, but as well that bring with a bunch of challenges. No, so as you know, it's not always like a rainbows and unicorns. Can you explain us a little bit
Yeah.
how those challenges have been, and how those hard obstacles have been for you, that you have been facing, and how you have been overcoming it?
For me, I always think that I had two big challenges when I started, because I was 24 years old. And first thing was I was too young for some of them. No, it's like, oh, this little girl comes here to tell me what I have to do. And but I remember once I told someone, in some years this handicap of being young will stop because I will get older,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Handicap. Oh Jesus,
I was
handicap.
like, we can solve this because I will get older. I promise. It's something
Yeah.
I already knew. I will, I will get older. And, and then, this was difficult at the beginning, but of course now I'm older. And the other thing was being a woman because,
Mm.
I remember going to some events of the Chamber of Commerce and everyone was a man. You enter the room and you just see like heads, and especially gray heads,
Yeah.
or already bald. And then you think, where are the women here? Maybe you see two women there, and
Yeah.
maybe they are there because their father had a big company and then they end up having a good network, but it's not yeah. And then it was like, how me in a rural area as young woman, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell other people how they should do their marketing or communication. But
Wow.
it was proving. It was all the time having to prove them. But I was used because I lived abroad. So it was proving all the time my value. And I will be always thankful for the first clients I had because they trusted me and I could use them as referrals, like, or as references. Like they trust on me. You can also trust on me because I know I can do it. And yeah, this was.
Well, yeah, well, it's incredible sometimes how we just evolve, is we have those challenges, and that is making us be a better person. So sometimes in my personal life, when I'm feeling challenged because of something or someone, I am always bringing these thoughts like, okay, what should I need to learn from that person or this situation that will be making me grow? And this is the way in how I overcome my challenges, even when sometimes it's very hard to get it out of that. So, well, coming back a little bit about what you was mentioning at the beginning, JCI, the organization, and I would like you to tell us a little bit more about what you have been learned about leadership from them.
Yeah. JCI, the goal of JCI is developing leadership opportunities for young people. And the way we do it is always learning by doing. It's you enter there, you get a project. Maybe you never did this kind of project or not that role, and you start with this new position, and then you learn from the position, doing just experiencing. And also there is room to create mistakes, to do mistakes. It's
Yeah.
nothing happen if you do a mistake. It's okay. You are learning. It's like, for example, I remember a lot of people is afraid about public speaking, especially in English, or
Of
doing
course.
as we are doing now a podcast. And I know I'm doing mistakes, grammar mistakes, but look, most of people, they don't speak Spanish.
Yeah,
And if
exactly.
they do speak Spanish as second language, probably they will do mistakes.
Yeah.
But it's already something good. So not being afraid of doing mistakes. And this is something you learn a lot in JCI. And then we are democratic, we are assemblary, and this is also something that you learn a lot because we apply the Robert Rules of Order, so the parliamentary procedures. And when you are chairing a meeting and you know this, you know that you have to listen everyone in the room because according to parliamentary procedures, everyone has the right to speak. But then it's the majority, it's the power of the majority that wins the debate in case we have to vote something.
Yeah.
So it creates also, it changes your mind because you know how to listen to everyone, but then choose sometimes things that maybe it's not the best for you personally, but it's the best for the organization, the project, or for the majority in the room. And you accept the democracy and you really value it and you understand the democracy in depth.
This is so powerful, Georgina, because actually, I have been heard about a technique in coaching that is called deep democracy. And actually having listening the voice to each of the members of any meeting, actually, because I have been heard and I have been actually been there in meetings in where you wanted to say something, but you are not allowed or you don't have the space. So you are like, I, and I want to, and then that is, especially if you are in a male dominated industry where you are the only one woman, so then become a different. But I always said that should be a way that everybody have opportunity to speak. And I love that you said is very powerful. And I think it's a very good learning about what you have been practicing in ACI. And in general, I wanted to ask you advice for women specifically, and especially for young women that are coming from a probably similar background that you, that are probably limited and saying always, I'm coming from a small town, so maybe I'm very young, all these unconscious biases that we actually put it on ourselves as well. Like, oh no, we are very young, or I am a woman, so I'm not going to fit. But so what you will be advising for them to dream big as you have been doing?
I think because everyone says like, believe in yourself. And for me, it's more believe in others. Because, and especially with women, I think we should support each other more. Like the term sorority, it should be really important.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, because it's like, maybe you already believe in you, but you need to believe in others and know that they will believe in you somehow if you are doing the right things. So, and you need to empower others. And for example, in marketing, it's not me wanting you to do or say whatever. It's me creating the perfect communication for you. So I
Correct.
need to believe in you all the time, and I need to believe in other women and support each other because, talking about challenges, I think sometimes men put us limits, but sometimes it's we women competing between us. And so my advice is support each other, support other women, believe in other women, because then this will go back to you and they will support you too. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is very wise, Georgina, and I am 100% agree with what you say because it's part of what I have been practicing and making the people aware about that. How we help in between us is so powerful that we can take care of the world if we want, and we still don't realize that.
Yeah.
So this is a big job, and that's the reason why, as I am doing all the things in the podcast. And a part of the things that I am doing as well is generating the awareness about how important it is to build your personal brand. So you have been doing that, building your personal brand under your name. So how you have been building that in the sense that you can probably deliver some tips for other women or other people that wanted to create their personal brand assertively.
I think the first thing it's being patient, because I remember when I was at the university, first time they explained us about LinkedIn and that we need a personal brand. I was like, what should I put there? I don't know. And then maybe you end up copying someone that it's something that it's your role model. No, don't do that. You are yourself. So first thing, it's knowing yourself, knowing your limits, what's good, what's not, like your strengths. And then you get the best from your strengths and you improve your weakness or to be better, and then work on that. And then as marketing specialist, I always say that what we project also with our personal brand has to be aligned with what we are really. So again, like what's inside us or what we do, like being all aligned. And I'm going to say just something brief. That's the example that I always put with the baker, because I say, me as marketing expert and talking about branding, I need to be well dressed with, like, I always say, like, my nails always fit with something that I'm wearing and all this stuff on my hair and that. Because it's image what I'm selling, and if I want to give advice about brand images, I need to take care of my own image. So if you have a fitness center, you need to be strong and fit. But if you have a bakery, you need to be a little bit chubby, because you need to prove that you are eating your pastry.
No, that is not true. But I love that. I love that. And actually it's really very catchy. And I think that people will remember that from you because, yeah, well, makes sense. So I am just imagining how people should be looking based on the things that they are doing. But I love that. It's so good.
Yeah.
Good. And well, just to start to wrap up this episode, this is only one thing and my last question. That is, what is one message you want our audiences to remember from your story? I know that they are going to say, well, this is the woman that talking about the personal brand related with the activity, but there is something else that you would like to share with us?
I think, well, one thing is that creating the network, trusting on the network, trying to have like JCI, other associations, other people that make you better. And according to this network, one of my favorite clients, because it's not the biggest, but I love him. Once he taught me, talking about personal relationships and the relationship also in the company. He said in Spanish, it made sense. Let's see if it makes sense also in English. But he said, don't be surrounded by the people who is good. Be surrounded by the good people, So
Okay,
people
yes.
who are good, not people who are good professionals. Of course, they need to be good professionals, but try to be surrounded with people that makes you light bigger, brighter, people who support you and you can support them, people who can trust you and you can trust them even in the bad moments. So creating the network and supporting each other.
That's true. And that is attached with, if you are the most intelligent person in the room, you are in the wrong room. I have heard that. And that is true. I mean, we need to surround it of people that really make us better persons. And then you will have the results. So, well, Georgina, I just have to say thank you for sharing your story, for sharing your wise, your knowledge and your experience with us. And thank you for being here in the Brilliantly Branded podcast.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. And I'm really thankful for this opportunity and you giving me voice in this space. Thank you.
Yeah, that is the purpose. Thank you. Thank you, Georgina. Thank you very much.
I'm grateful by having you as a listener on this episode. I am in the mission of empowering thousands of women around the globe, and I need your support for that. Help me to spread the voice by sharing this episode and subscribe to our social media channels. And remember, if you want to listen to exceptional stories and have someone that inspires you, please get in touch with me because I will love to have them as a guest to learn from their experience and share their story with you next time. So until the next episode, ciao, ciao.